So, welcome back. Hello people of the world. I want to do a video on the Copley Medal again, which is the world's oldest science prize, dating from 1771, and I think the world's most prestigious because the scientists who won it have been sort of, they're on average more eminent than Nobel Prize winners, and their discoveries have usually had impact that's lasted throughout time. So this is actually the first ever Copley Medal winner, the demonstration that metals conduct electricity. Awarded 1731, 1732, I think it was actually 1732, this particular thing. But we all look at metals and society now. The first demonstration that metals conduct electricity, and all our electricity wires use metals. In 1753, lightning conductors were first sort of invented. The things you have inside the buildings. In 1757, maximum minimum thermometers. Then in 1776, the discovery that citrus fruit can keep you healthy by Captain Cook. Although it was actually about a century later before it finally got accepted and fruit was finally put into all ships as standard. It was a long time before it was taken on board, but it won the Copley Medal. And then the Bunsen burner. So in 1860, I think it was Robert Bunsen actually got the Copley Medal for all his chemical and physical discoveries and other things. The Bunsen burner isn't actually explicitly mentioned, but he invented it, so I think because it says other stuff, this, amongst other things, got the Copley Medal. Bunsen burner is used in all labs, from school level to university and medical labs and microbiology labs and chemistry labs. They're used everywhere. We've all heard of Bunsen burners. And fermentation got it in 1874. And then blood pressure, so this is brewing, and blood pressure equipment invention. When you go to the GP, you know, when they wrap the thing around your arm and measure your blood pressure, that was 1884, that got the Copley Medal. And then from school you might have learned that James Joule worked on heat dynamics, the sort of laws of conservation of energy, and first law with laws of thermodynamics. That was 1870, he got that. And then so these are the early ones, and then invention of the periodic table. You know, the periodic table we learn about with all the elements. That was in 1905 by Mendeleev. Invention, discovery of the periodic table. Got it. And then protein sequencing won it. That was in 1977 actually. And then DNA fingerprinting won it. The sort of invention of DNA fingerprinting, it wasn't actually mentioned in it, but he won it for his work in variation and of DNA and mutation variation. Sorry, variation and stability of DNA. And that was won it in 2014. So yeah, he won it for his work in variation stability of DNA, and because Alec Jeffreys had also invented this, the use of DNA fingerprinting. My phone's making a noise. Because the technique relies on variation in DNA. It's sort of included in it, although it's not actually explicitly mentioned. So DNA fingerprinting has been recognised indirectly. Be quiet, silly machine. Sorry about the phone, forgot it was on. And then the lithium rechargeable battery that we all use in all our mobile phones and power tools, and they're all over the place, computers. That won it in 2019. So this isn't actually explicitly mentioned. That won it for structure work and DNA and proteins, which is sequencing. This isn't actually mentioned, but he won it for the variations and his work and how DNA varies and is stable, and it's part of it. It's sort of that's a technique that came out of it. The battery won it in 2019, and then black holes and other cosmological and galactic concepts won it last year. So these are modern things that have won it. So yeah, that's the Copley medal. But I was really wanting to show you this, which is I was looking up, the very first ever win was demonstration that metals conduct electricity. And then shortly afterwards, lightning, the invention of lightning conductors. Electricity is actually won about 15 or 16 Copley medals over time. For example, okay, I said electricity is one about 15 or 16. Rechargeable batteries, electricity storage, that's a very recent win. But yeah, there's been a total of 16 or 17 Copley medals awarded to work in electricity. Some of it was for Faraday won a couple for developing things like electrolysis or magnets, electricity, things like that. Or so lightning conductor is another one. It's won about 15, 16 times. It shows me how important electricity has been in our lives. So yeah. That's the Copley medal, world's oldest, and I think the world's most prestigious. In terms of money and publicity, the Nobel Prize is much higher. But in terms of prestige, and eminence as scientists, and I think the Copley medal is a bigger deal. And if you look at the names of it, and you some giants of science have won it, like Perutz and Darwin and Wallace, and others, a lot of mathematicians, Gauss, Einstein, Mendeleev. So yes, the giants of science. Cayley's a mathematician. You know, when you're doing, you aren't taught this at school anymore, maybe A-level, the determinants in maths. Cayley invented that, and that got it. He won it, but he won it for all his maths work, not that. But that's part of all his maths work.